There's a deliberate quiet that happens the second you drop beneath the surface. No regulators, no mechanical chatter, just a single breath, gravity working in reverse, and the steady, unhurried pressure of the open sea. Long before dive watches became desk-bound style icons or high-end mechanical jewelry, they were built for this exact reason. Quiet tools forged for a realm where time isn't measured in meetings or deadlines, but in pressure, oxygen, and absolute focus. When you're down here, every second counts, but more importantly, you feel every single one of them. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Bond's Apartment. I, of course, am Luke. Thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And if you're so inclined, join. I have a membership now, so much appreciated. Today's video is about 4 particular dive watches in my collection that I think cumulatively make up the perfect 4 dive watch collection. Now we are going to get started with the very first one, which is a TAG Heuer Aquaracer. Long before it was a modern style icon, TAG Heuer's obsession with the ocean began over a century ago with pioneering waterproof watch cases. In 1978, they introduced the reference 844, the definitive template for professional diving. It evolved into the Aquaracer in 2004. Engineered not just to look sharp, but to survive the harshest marine environments. With a robust hexagonal bezel, extreme water resistance, and flawless legibility, the Aquaracer bridges rugged utility with timeless luxury. Ready for the abyss, wherever your journey takes you. Each of these 4 watches is going to cover a particular prerequisite, which kind of helped me determine which 4 watches I wanted to use in this perfect 4 dive watch collection. And the prerequisite that this watch covers is it's an heirloom piece. This was my father's watch. My father sadly passed away late at the end of last year, and this is a watch I've talked about several times on my channel. But what I love about this watch, outside of that, I love how thin it is. It is a quartz watch, so it is a very good daily watch. I love the two-tone aspect. I love the bracelet on this watch. I'm actually using it on an Anchor Strap Co. leather strap with a deployment clasp. But I love wearing this watch. I love being able to look down and think of my dad when I have this watch on. But the coolest part is my brother also has the exact same watch. My dad actually had 2 of these watches, identical. And one he wore all throughout while he worked, and then the second one, the one my brother has, he actually wore once he retired. It's a long story and I can get into it in a different video. I'm sure I already have, but that is why this Aquaracer is the first of the 4 watches in this 4 dive watch collection. Omega's journey beneath the waves began in 1932 with the Marine, the world's first commercially available dive watch, built with a clever double case designed to conquer the deep. That pioneering spirit forged a legend in 1948 with the birth of the Omega Seamaster. By 1957, the Seamaster 300 set a new gold standard for professional divers, blending rugged utility with unmistakable elegance. Over the decades, Omega redefined marine engineering, introducing game-changing innovations like the PloProf and the ultra-resilient Professional series. Trusted by explorers, military divers, and secret agents alike,
the Seamaster remains the ultimate master of the oceans.
The next watch in the collection is, of course, the GoldenEye. This is the Omega Seamaster Professional Diver 2541.80 from the film GoldenEye. This watch is in this collection for two reasons. Number one, it's a true dive watch. Number two, it is a bond watch. And number 2A or 2B, this is the watch that made me fall in love with watches and James Bond. When I started playing GoldenEye 64 as a kid, I said, I need that watch. I need a watch. It has to look like this. I remember my dad actually bought me a Fossil watch that was very similar to this. Mind you, I was like 10. So I loved the shit out of that watch. But eventually I was able to get this watch, and this watch is actually in this 4-watch or 4-dive watch collection, technically, because I believe it is now considered a vintage watch. It is just about 30 years old or a little over 30 years old, which I think is either neo-vintage or vintage. Somebody let me know in the comments, I'm sure. But the first watch, heirloom piece. The second watch, a vintage diver now, which is pretty cool, pretty wild, scary, and kind of sad, frankly. But I love this watch. It's okay that it's vintage. I kind of like the fact that this watch was made when I was a kid. I think it's pretty cool. So of course, the GoldenEye watch is the second of 4 watches in this 4-dive watch collection.
When Commander James Bond traded in his utility watches for something sharper in 1995's GoldenEye, a legendary cinematic partnership was born. Costume designer Lindy Hemming chose the Seamaster Professional 300M because it matched the naval commander's background, blending military pedigree with timeless British elegance. From laser gadgets in the field to titanium chronometers engineered for 007 himself, the Seamaster isn't just a watch, it's an essential piece of Secret Service equipment.
The next watch we have is another Bond watch. This is the Planet Ocean 600M from the pre-title sequence in Skyfall. This is one of those Bond watches that they did kind of commercially, I don't know how you would say it, commercially produce. They made like the James Bond edition. I'm not a huge fan of the James Bond edition watches, the ones with like all of the 007 and Skyfall and whatever markings all over it. This is actually the one that Daniel Craig wore in the pre-title sequence. So this is not the James Bond edition. This is just a regular Planet Ocean 600M. I love this watch. Why is this watch in this collection? I put this one in here as the true dive watch. This is 600 meters water resistant. That is insane. I will never, ever go that far down into the ocean. I think the farthest I've ever been down is maybe 20 feet, like maybe. We went to the Florida Keys last year. My phone dropped in the canal. We texted the Airbnb owner and they were like, oh, it's not that deep, it's like 40 feet. I was like, lady, no. Needless to say, we went out and bought a new phone. That's it. And I did have this watch, but yeah, no, just not, no. But I love this watch. Helium escape valve, of course, the Omega staple for their dive watches. I love this design of the Planet Ocean. I actually like this one substantially more than the more recent redesign, or the new redesign, I should say. But this watch is in here. It's a Bond watch, and it is a true dive watch with that 600-meter water resistance.
In 1954, Tudor entered the deep with a clear mission: build a rugged, dependable tool watch for professionals without compromise. That was the birth of the Oyster Prince Submariner. Trusted by elite armed forces like the French Navy and the US Navy, Tudor defined underwater legibility in 1969 with the introduction of their signature geometric snowflake hands. Today, that legendary heritage lives on through two distinct paths: the modern, titanium-engineered high performance of the Pelagos and the vintage-inspired retro charm of the Black Bay. Rooted in military history and built for the modern adventurer, Tudor dive watches prove that true grit never goes out of style.
Last but not least, to round out the perfect 4 dive watch collection, we have the Tudor Black Bay 54. This is the newest watch in my collection. I am obsessed with this watch. It is incredibly thin for a mechanical movement, ultra thin, very light, beautiful design, very reminiscent of classic Rolex and Tudor dive watches. This watch has become a daily wear for me. This has a 70-hour power reserve on top of the 200-meter water resistant, what makes it, of course, a dive watch. But the 70-hour power reserve is insane. This is a watch that I can put on the nightstand and literally not grab for almost 3 days and pick it up, go to work and look down and the time is right. That's nuts to me. I love this watch. I love that vintage look. This watch is in this 4 watch collection for that exact reason. It is a heritage piece. It is very reminiscent to the Rolex 6538, which of course, Bond adjacent little story there. Yes, this is a Tudor, Rolex's sister brand. The shield protects the crown. Don't forget it. Everybody hating on Tudor watches, no reason to whatsoever. This is very, very heavily inspired by the Rolex 6538 that we see Sean Connery wear in a few different Bond films. Those are the 4 watches that make up my perfect 4 dive watch collection. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate you watching as always. Let me know if you would swap one for something else, or if you agree, or what your 4 dive watch collection may be. Can't wait to discuss with you guys in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Thank you.